Hi, everyone. My name is John Lanius. I am the Director of Community Outreach for the Special Operations Charity Network, and I'm very excited that you're joining us today because we have a pilot program that we're going to talk about that if you're a veteran, a first responder, or an active military person, you're going to be able to participate. We'll get to that in just a minute, but I'm going to introduce you now to Ellen Goodwin. She is the co-founder of Artifacts. Hi, Ellen. Tell us about Artifacts.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me. Artifacts is a patented website and a mobile app where you can unite the stories with all of the stuff that you've collected throughout your life, right? And in the case of military service, we have a lot of it, don't we? There's the photos and the medals and the patches and the equipment, and it accumulates. So with our app, you can combine photo and video and audio along with the story to capture your own stories and memories and histories to be able to have for yourself and to preserve for generations.
So you and I have been friends now for a couple of years, and we have similar backgrounds, not exactly the same, but I've been involved now with the Special Operations Charity Network and also specifically the Find Your Tribe initiative, where we bring things like fishing programs and competitive shooting and mountain biking and fragrance therapies that really assist individuals to reduce the effects of PTSD and TBI. And so when we started thinking about how could artifacts really support our community, it was really just an easy thought because when you think about objects and you think about memories and you think about that if we're not sharing these things, they get lost to time. So do you have a story that you can share with us about how a veteran used artifacts to preserve a memory?
Yes, absolutely. One of my favorites is actually related to a Korean War veteran who, through no fault of his own, was not very comfortable recording these stories in a traditional format. Traditional being, here, Grandpa, here's a recorder, tell us all your stories. Here, Grandpa, here's a book, a journal, write down all your stories for us. But the result of that is the family is left with all of these mementos and no idea what they mean or what they meant to him. And he has no outlet to talk about these things that in his case were quite traumatic. So through artifacts, one by one, you can tell little pieces of the story. This isn't, you don't have to be an author. You don't have to think your stories are the best stories. You have to be able to say, this is a ring. I got it in Seoul. It's made of silver. And here's why I still have it, right? Maybe that's what you say. But I think that the outlet for him was perfect because it was these bite-sized moments and it wasn't some cumbersome project. It was something very organic and meaningful to him, and then ultimately shareable with the family to bring them closer to him and his experiences.
So I love that you shared that because I'm using artifacts for my second book, which is called Love and Letters in World War II. And it's about the love letters between my grandparents during World War II. And what was interesting is that as I was doing the research for this book and going through my grandfather's artifacts, one of the artifacts that I'm going to bring to artifacts is a Roman coin that my grandfather, when they docked in North Africa, he went to some of the old Christian ruins and he found a Roman coin and there was no context for it. And so if I would not have written this book and done the research, this coin in my grandfather's collection, there would have been no context for that. So I'm very excited to bring this to artifacts. So I hope as you're listening to this, you can start to think about what artifacts do I have? What memories do I have that I want to make sure that my son, my daughter, my granddaughter, my grandson, or even further down the family line, can be preserved. I just feel a really deep emotional connection to this because it's extraordinary. And by the way, it's not just a photo. I mean, what all can you do on the platform?
Yeah, absolutely. And in this, John, too, it's personal history, but it's also military history, it's community history, and ultimately global history because of our participation in these world events. And so, right, on artifacts, you can record a video of yourself and put it into the artifact. You can record just audio if you prefer. You can take pictures of all of the memorabilia and add them in. So our view was by providing context with photo, video, and audio, you can bring to life the experience that you want to share. And that can be, however you want to construct it. We do have a lot of people adding audio into their artifacts. And I think it's because it takes the pressure off of having to write the story, but also, frankly, it's always better in the voice of the person who experienced it, getting their inflections of their voice, getting their vocabulary. It's never better than having it in your own words.
All right, so I think we've laid enough groundwork, right? So how can people get involved?
Yes. So below this video, we have all of the information you need to contact the Special Operations Charity Network, and they will set you up with a free Artifacts account. We're going to limit that pilot to about 30 people. And the objective here is to have you start artifacting and to share with us your private experiences with creating these artifacts and how they help you to connect with others in your military community, how it helps you connect with your family to tell them the stories, and what you see as the vision, as we have, for bringing this national and international and helping more and more people to capture their military experiences, or in the case of first responders, that experience. But what is that experience for you? And how do you think that artifacts can serve a role to helping bring this to others as well?
Ellen, as we wrap up this video, leave us with a thought about artifacts.
We would love to welcome you to this pilot program so that your experiences and your history are not lost to time.
Ellen Goodwin, co-founder of Artifacts. Reach out on LinkedIn, get connected to her. I'm John Lanius, Director of Community Outreach for the Special Operations Charity Network. We hope that you participate in this pilot program. Share this video with others, and we look forward to seeing your artifacts down the road. Thank you.